Well, let's speak now to the Shadow Secretary for Work and Pensions, Jonathan Ashworth. Jonathan, thanks for joining us. Appreciate your time. There's lots to talk to you about. Just very quickly, your reaction to events overnight in Poland and how Rishi Sunak has dealt with it this morning.
Well, deeply, deeply concerning, and of course our condolences to those who have lost their life in Poland. Poland remains a strong ally of the United Kingdom and a friend, and our bonds of friendship are very deep and strong with Poland, going back many, many years. I don't want to speculate on what has gone on. We need our NATO allies to properly investigate what has gone on. But fundamentally, at the end of the day, we're in this situation because of Russia's completely unacceptable invasion of Ukraine, and we restate again our solidarity and our support for Ukraine, and that support for Ukraine will continue and will be it remains undiminished.
And under a Labour administration, what sort of defence spending would you bring in? Because there have just been 5 new frigate ships announced by Prime Minister Sunak in recent days. Continued investment in the armed forces in the face of those threats. Would you be sharing those?
Well, of course, it's a live question, because under 12 years of the Conservatives, they've actually cut the numbers in our armed forces, of course. Look, we will make our spending commitments for the next Labour government in our manifesto as we get closer to a general election. A general election could be 2 years away, but we would always say our first priority is defence of the realm. We are the party that will stand up for national security in this country, and we would never do anything to undermine our national security. We want to strengthen our national security, but we'll make our specific recommendations or our specific policy commitments on expenditure closer to a general election.
OK, obviously with inflation rising again in September, up 1%, 11.1%, I believe. Those kind of commitments, very easy to make but difficult to deliver on, when in terms of inflation it often would mean a real terms cut. It's very easy in opposition to make those kinds of pledges.
Yes, we're in a very difficult economic climate, and of course that's the headline figure. When you look into the details, food and drink has risen 16% year on year. Inflation hurts the poor, it diminishes the purchasing power of wages, it undermines the value of the pension, and we're less able to weather these economic storms because of 12 years of lacklustre economic performance under the Conservatives, and of course because of that absolutely disastrous budget from the Conservatives 8 weeks ago, which led to a huge spike in borrowing costs. It led to a run on pension funds and people's mortgages increasing. So, look, we're going to see a budget tomorrow. I hope in that budget we see the value of the pension increase honoured. The triple lock for the pensioners should be honoured. And I hope we don't see cuts for the payments, the universal credit payments for working people and disabled people, because they should not pay the price because of the disastrous decisions and the economic mismanagement of the Conservatives.